Because you never know. You got to pick upsets somewhere. It's
going
to happen.
Yeah.
So every now and then I'll get lucky. Who knows?
I was looking through. Welcome to episode 3, by the way.
I was about to say, welcome to Sport Ball.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and
kind of a rolling intro.
Let's go ahead and do an intro real fast. So we just want to thank everybody. 50 views on both videos, by the way. 50 views.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yes, sir.
My mom has been putting in work night and day.
I would say it's the small things. Thanks, Mom, for watching that video 50 times, by the way.
My grandmother's made 5 different accounts.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad, for subscribing, even though you didn't know that you did.
Yeah. We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it, guys.
Shout out to the one follower on Twitter that isn't part of like the Sport Ball crew.
Hell yeah. Yeah, thank you. Whoever you are, we appreciate you.
I didn't know we had a Twitter.
We do have a Twitter. Follow us. It's sport_ball_pod. Alright, so go ahead and follow us on Twitter there. But yeah, welcome to Sport Ball. We were just kind of rolling in here talking about our last week's picks in week 2. As you guys can probably be able to see on the screen. Some of us did not do very well this week in our picks. The best of us did 9-7. The worst of us went 6-10.
If you look at the screen, I'm sure Dominic's going to do it in post. You see, we have a blue it column on the right.
The blue
and
column.
Notice 4 of my picks were all affected by those blue it columns. So it's we're coming out. If I come out 9-7 with 4 L's because of absolute fold jobs,
boys, all I'm gonna say.
Thank you for just putting me on blast with the 6-10 record. Well, I mean, buddy,
you're the only one. The rest of us went 9-7.
Numbers never lie.
Numbers don't lie, man. Numbers don't lie. But So, boys, it's now been 7 years since the Colts have won in Jacksonville.
That's insane.
I just want to say that.
That's insane.
Duval County. Duval.
The Colts just cannot put it together.
I don't know if we have any Pat McAfee followers, but when his level of concern in week 2 for his own Indianapolis Colts is running a little high, I'm starting to get a little out on the Colts.
Yeah.
I think it's time that we need to start evaluating our options.
I mean, they bring in Matt Ryan, and they're expecting to win the division. It's like
who
is winning that division? It's Jacksonville.
Not the Colts.
It's Jacksonville.
Not the Colts.
Right now, it's Jacksonville.
Last year, they have the problem now where I think Matt Ryan is decent enough, but they took a step back in some other areas so much that that improvement gets nullified by a lot of other factors they've got going on. So the Colts to me are just a team spinning in the mud right now. These last 2 years have kind of just disoriented the entire direction of the franchise, I feel like. So if I'm at the Colts and they don't get right in these next couple of weeks, my level of concern at a franchise level is getting pretty high.
Well, I mean, the Colts do high-key play the Chiefs this week, so they're easily looking at 0-2-1.
Yeah, that's
it's a rough start.
That's another L.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we got Chase here coming back.
Chase,
from week 1.
To just wrap that last thing up, not to undercut myself, but just to wrap up what I mean there is, yes, the Colts are going to lose, but from a franchise level, I just need the Colts to show some life in that game.
Hey, at least
they might not win.
Hey, Matt Ryan needs to at least
we
throw
didn't put
something.
the Colts winning the AFC.
Yeah.
I did have the Colts winning the AFC.
I don't remember if I did, but if I did.
No, I did. I did for sure.
He had them winning.
Yeah, back from week
sure.
1. I just took the week off because I wanted to last week. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Chase has the Bills.
We're still kind of figuring
Chase
out
has the Colts only getting in on a wild card, so he definitely has the best positioning for the Colts right now.
I figured the Colts.
The Bengals, I'm regretting that one too.
We're all regretting the Bengals, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's a bad Super Bowl hang. I think we all expected that the Rams were going to be closer to what the Bengals are now. We expected a lot more Super Bowl hangover from them, but the Bengals, their offensive line has just not worked out. I think everybody had a lot more faith.
The stat line that Dominic sent me earlier this week was that right now Joe Burrow is on track to be stacked 111 times.
111 times, dude.
That is insane.
Yes.
And they were supposed to
they're
going to
play the Jets this week, dude.
Yeah.
They're playing the Jets. I can easily see the Jets taking down that offensive
line. The Bengals might go 0-3, bro.
That's sad, man.
Easily.
We'll get into that matchup. Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts on the Jets after last week.
Okay, hold on. But looking back on the week 2, I just want to cover just the teams that kind of were expected to win and just kind of shit their pants. Number one, the Jets coming out over the Browns is ridiculous. For them to score 2 touchdowns in after the 2-minute warning is ridiculous. All of us guessed the Browns. All of us got burned on that one.
I think.
Hey,
we
go
all
Lions,
expected-
baby.
Yeah.
Joe
we didn't expect
Flacco's
a
that guy,
blowout.
though, bro, dude. No, because Joe Flacco looked good again. 2 weeks in a row, Joe Flacco looks solid. What did he have? 307 yards for four tutties.
Hey,
dude?
the top leading guys in the league right now are Tua Tagovailoa, Carson Wentz, and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Who would have put money on that?
Who would've
Week
thought
3, week 2, who
Jack
would have put money
Flacco?
on
I'm
that?
just saying, if you had a team.
I mean,
on
Joe
that,
Jack
man,
Flacco.
But
Yes, Jack Flacco.
I think it's a similar situation with the Colts and the Jags. I don't think that we really expected a blowout, and we expected it to be competitive, but we definitely didn't expect
Shout out to Dominic.
24-0 in favor of the Jaguars.
Dominic warned us all.
Yeah.
We just
Duval.
ignored it.
I'm glad. I was very, I was underwhelmed by the Colts' performance, obviously, but I was pretty happy to be wrong on that pick because to see Trevor Lawrence finally seem to get his feet under him after 2 years of everybody being very concerned he was going to
It's
just
like Tua.
be in the black.
I was
Bro,
never
Tua.
a doubter in Tua, bro. Tua.
Tua was insane.
Yeah, okay.
We all got
yeah.
that one wrong,
That's
too.
next. Yeah, fucking
Yeah, we
blew it.
all
Talk
got the
about
Ravens
about
wrong.
blowing it. I think this is the biggest blow job of the fucking week. Dude. The Ravens, dude. I mean, what, they were up 28-7 by halftime.
Something like that.
It was.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 20-7
They
at
had-
We'll
halftime.
have,
They
we'll
had
have
game
accurate
one.
statistics down the road. That's a high price item.
Yeah, I mean, we're not professionals here, bud. But no, dude, it's just ridiculous that they really blew that hell of a lead. Good for Tua. Good for everyone that had Waddle, Tua, and
Tyreek.
Tyreek on their fantasy team. If you had all
Cheetah.
three, holy moly.
I believe I saw something on Twitter where a guy had all three of those players,
Oh
three
my
of those players,
God.
and he was in a family fantasy league playing his wife, and he was like, "It's been a good 16-year run, guys. It's gonna be over after this week."
Yeah, but also,
What?
I know what he's talking about. Never mind. He was saying
I know,
marriage.
yeah.
because he's beating
Marriage.
Yeah, that's
Saying
that
marriage.
was the bit.
Yeah, it was the bit marriage.
He's
My
beating
bad.
his wife
Sorry,
so
I
bad in
almost-
fantasy she's gonna
Divorce him,
That's
yeah.
the joke.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on.
So
the
anyway,
Rams, though, let's not skip over this because I know we're talking about teams that actually did blow it.
28-3.
But the Rams were
28-3.
heinously close to blowing a 28-3 lead against the Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons.
They were favored to win by 10 points. They only ended up winning by 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were-
Aaron
you
was
were a
not so
very
happy
fun
about it.
I
person
was
to
not
be around
very
for that
happy
game.
about that game.
Aaron
That
was
game
not
should have been a
happy.
lot.
You were like counting your money. It's a lock. Watch other games, and then slowly but surely, your dream just withered away and died.
Not
by
my
the end of the game.
$11.
Your
My-
$11.
My
My
$11
$11
withered
dream.
away. You know what's crazy, dude? Last week I made 13 bets, and I only ended up minus $2.
That's good betting. That's what we call.
It was just fun,
responsible
dude. I
betting.
mean, well, I wouldn't say really responsible because going into Sunday I was up $27, and then by Sunday
were
night,
you really going to take that money out and
No.
spend it, or was that you're just I've got
No.
more money this week?
Exactly.
Like it's
Well,
just your fun part.
So the bookie Venmos me, or I Venmo him every Monday. But if it's less than $10, he rolls it over to the next week. So, but yeah, no, I mean, but
Interesting.
if say I just kept that 27, I just would have kept it in my Venmo account, so that way I have like a little cushion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. It's
Makes-
alright. You just got to be smart with it, or not. I don't
Makes
give a
sense to me.
fuck. Makes
I'm
sense.
not going to pocket watch. I know how I do my betting, which is by fake betting on an app
There you
where
go.
I can pretend I'm betting.
Well,
but,
Oh, dude. Also, though,
and doing this podcast.
I say
I'm betting my
continuing on with the
Betting my
blowing it.
dude. Okay, but
Bengals.
hold on. Before we get to the Bengals,
Hold on.
I want to talk
Bengals.
about how good Jimmy G looked.
Yeah,
out.
coming in for Trey
Like,
Lance.
I feel so
Poor
bad
Trey
for Trey
Lance,
Lance.
though. Yeah.
Trey Lance, and also, dude, fucking prayers and everything out to Dane Jackson, man, in the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
That was wild. Very good news to hear that he can have full control of all of his extremities and everything. So it's looking good. That's definitely a it's definitely a very dangerous hit. So I'm glad he's okay. But yeah, dude, Jimmy G coming out. and making the 49ers ownership, I'm sure, very happy.
There was
into that.
They were just basically like, we told you so.
Of the Jordan, not Jordan Belfort, but Leo DiCaprio in Once a Time in Hollywood, where he's sitting on the couch pointing at the TV. That was when Trey Lance got hurt. The whole ownership group was like, "See, motherfuckers, this is why we did this." And sometimes that's how it plays out. Which you never wish that.
And he looked good.
You don't want to be betting.
He looked good.
You never want to feel like you're betting.
They were favored to win by 9. They won by 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Bills were favored to win by 10. They won by 34.
Yeah.
The Colts were favored to win by 4. They lost by 24.
Yeah.
And also, dude, I want to hit on the Raiders game real quick, too, because that was
yeah.
wild, dude. Kyler Murray showed why he was the first overall pick.
When the Raiders blew a lead.
That was the biggest lead that they had ever blown in franchise history. It was a 20-point lead.
But let's not look past the fact, though, and this goes for the other teams, too, that had comebacks. You had to put yourself in that position in the first place. So Kyler Murray, I remember watching that game, the first half of Kyler Murray, you were really worried about the Cardinals this year. You're like, they might be the Bengals right now.
But I think a lot of that feeling comes from the fact that they started 7-0, 8-0.
Yeah, they were 7.
7-0.
No, I thought they got to 11. That was the Steelers. Steelers got to 11-0. I think they got to 7-0.
But it makes you concerned.
No, not last year.
The Steelers a couple years ago got to 11-0.
But yeah, I mean, the Cardinals look good, and then they just hit that wall where teams kind of ramp it up for the second half of the season. They just kind of stayed stagnant. I think low-key, their loss to us whenever the Panthers went in, whenever Cam Newton first came back, and we beat them in Arizona 30-something to 10. It seemed like after that their season kind of just fucking took a shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They looked pretty good, and I'm able to make a 20-point comeback. I mean, you have to be doing something right. So that's good coaching, and Kyler Murray's obviously not someone to give up. You know what I mean?
We all got the Bills right. Split on the Philly and the Vikings.
Eagles look good.
Eagles look real good. It's just
Eagles.
Kirk Cousins in prime time, just not going to be it.
Yeah, there was this stat that he was before that game in Monday Night Football. He was 2-9.
Well, he's now 2-10.
Nah, he's now 2-10. So,
but I think we can all kind of agree that basically the stink job of the week was the Bengals.
The Bengals are very concerning.
They were favored by 7. Dallas was on a backup quarterback, dude. They're on a backup quarterback.
Cooper Rush looked pretty good.
Tony Romo was putting on for Cooper Rush on the CBS broadcast.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not saying nothing against him. He played a great game, but I mean, what the hell are the Bengals doing?
Yeah, I think again it comes down to the fact that coming into the season, the Bengals' biggest need was offensive line. Everybody knew it, and the Bengals went out and, to their credit, they got 4 new offensive linemen. And so everybody was like, okay, that's what they need to address. They went out, they addressed it, at least in everybody's mind, and then these first 2 weeks, it has just gone as poorly as you could imagine. I can't see I can't see anybody saying, if you're doing a best case, worst case scenario, this has got to be about as bad of a scenario as it can get for the Bengals. So it's going to be really interesting these next few weeks. I mean, maybe it's just a situation where the linemen have to get used to each other. I know communication's huge when it gets in the trenches there. So, I think there's potential that they could really come together as a unit, but if I'm anybody at the Bengals, I'm pretty concerned right now.
If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm like, if they don't fix this shit by the end of the season, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I mean, he could risk another. If he gets injured again, I'm pulling in Andrew Luck. I'm like, I'm gonna retire. I'm out, or you're gonna trade me, something like that. Even though Andrew Luck didn't want to be traded, but it's at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen something like this. It's almost like a Deshaun Watson 2.0 without the diddling,
without the crimes,
without the diddling.
Yeah.
So.
But no, okay, so.
That's don't do the crime.
But yeah, so I mean that's
it's
week
free
2.
balloon day.
That's week 2. So at the end of week 2, I'm sitting looking pretty okay at 18, 13, and 1. Ugh, I hate that one.
I hate having the 1 there, but we gotta keep it.
Yeah,
we gotta keep it.
Aaron's just right there. If he didn't have the 1, he might be even right there at 500. But he's 15, 16, and 1.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
TK finished his first week at 6 and 10.
Not bad. It's a warm up.
Yeah,
week.
he took some swings.
This,
he took some swings.
But to be fair, dude, like
yeah, to be fair, he took some swings.
Week 2 was pretty wild, though.
I would have agreed with him on the Saints.
I mean, he took swings. He just took swings on the wrong teams.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it here, I mean, I wouldn't have picked the Bears. Sorry, bud. I would not have picked the Bears.
I was really debating
I was confident.
I was
on
debating
that,
it. That's like a good sneak pick.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised I was the only one that picked the Patriots.
I didn't like what I saw in week 1. That's why I didn't pick them.
Yeah, they're really.
And I kind of really liked what I saw by the Steelers defense in week 1. So. And then Chase is sitting pretty well there at 17, 14, and 1. All right, so he's right there in second place. One game out.
Competition's heating up.
One game out, and a lot can change. You know. So as we go ahead and look ahead to week 3, let's see here. The first game of the week: Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. As much as it's not really a very exciting game based on the teams, really, I think it can be a very exciting game. I think these are 2 pretty close teams. I think Jacoby Brissett kind of showed more of his colors in week 2 versus a better defense. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's hard to say that the Jets are a better defense than
to be 100%
than the Panthers, but
to be 100% honest, I think the Browns have got to stop being so conservative.
yeah.
I mean, I understand that you have a great run game, but you got to throw the ball, man. I mean, you can't just keep running the ball. You can't do it. I mean, you're going to wear down your offensive line. You're going to wear. I mean, you're wearing down the defense, but
end up getting hurt.
Yeah, but Cho's going to wind up getting hurt.
Now you're not going to have nobody.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a must-win game, obviously, for the Browns. I mean, already. I mean, this is a must-win game because they're going to fall too far behind.
And it's also since it's against the division.
Yeah,
dude. I don't think anyone would have expected the Steelers to be.
They're 1-1. I mean, the whole division is 1-1. But if Cleveland can win this game, that puts them a really big edge.
No, weren't the Bengals 0-2?
Oh yeah, that's right. The Bengals are 0-2. Yeah, fuck.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, the Bengals are 0-2. But I'm picking the Steelers here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking the Steelers.
I feel like everybody's picking the Steelers except for me. This is a pick I do not feel good about at all. Like, this pick is, the more I see it on the screen, the more my stomach churns. But to me,
you got to take a swing.
I'm kind of taking a swing here because the Browns, I liked what I saw from the Browns, except for the Browns being the Browns. You know?
Except for the fourth quarter.
Not even the fourth quarter, the last 2 minutes of the fourth.
I liked what I saw from Jacoby Brissett. Their run game is strong, which gives them good clock control. I do not like what I see out of the Steelers' offense whatsoever.
No.
However, the Browns are the Browns, like we saw an all-time display last week, which is why what I saw in the games makes me pick the Browns. But everything in my brain external to the game is telling me that this is a horrible pick. So,
well, I mean,
I'm sticking with my guns.
You're not the only one taking a swing this week, man. I mean, look at next week.
Yeah, so I mean, we got the Houston Texans at the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are favored by 2.5.
Next game, not next.
Jesus. We got 3 of you guys taking the Bears. I gotta ask you guys, why are you guys so unanimous on the Bears here?
Justin Fields.
All right.
I have a lot of trust in Justin Fields, and it's at home for the Bears. I don't know. It's just completely different than what the Texans feel like used to playing to. I don't know, man. I just have more trust in Fields than I do in Davis Mills.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of taking a swing on their Texans.
And the Bears' defense is pretty decent.
I'm just kind of taking a swing on the Texans' defense here.
They've
been able to hold some opponents to some.
Yeah, I mean, they
points.
were pretty competitive with the Broncos, even though Russell Wilson just looks terrible.
No, it's not that he looks terrible. It's just they can't get anything going in the red zone.
But also Jerry Judy's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's already hurt.
He got hurt last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Broncos are the 7th ranked offense, so I mean, it's not.
For what? They haven't done anything.
But they can move the
we'll
ball.
Get to
they
that.
just can't score.
We're gonna get to that later.
They just
the NFL's got their power rankings all
How many points do you score
up,
from
dude.
moving the ball back and forth? You only score from field goals and touchdowns. I'm just saying.
Well,
But anyway,
I'm just kind of
to kind of justify my pick, I think this game is one of those just games that's borderline irrelevant. Like, I know...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a field goal to decide who wins.
We've already talked about
this
this
game. A lot
game
of
for
field
too long.
goals. I think it's going to be I think it'll be a very similar game to how the Denver Texans game went last week. I'm with Aaron with Justin Fields. I'm really worried about his total completions because I think he's got around 15 to 20 total completions through 2 weeks. However, his receiving core is pretty terrible. But I saw how bad I felt about the Broncos and the fact that the Texans just could never do anything to really put them away or win that game. I just want to go with the Bears because I feel like the Bears are a team that aren't the best, but they know how to win with what they've got, which I'm not saying that's going to lead them
Matt
going 9-7.
Eberflus is doing a hell of a job so far in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs or
shout
anything.
Shout out to all the new coaches,
but
though. They're all doing a hell of a
those
job.
games where it's like 13-10 and neither team wants to score, I feel like the Bears can come out and do pretty well in those types of situations.
It was like if they can get another 49ers game, they can win.
We should definitely get off this game, bro.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Move on. This is very much.
Who cares?
All right, Raiders and Titans. Honestly,
Raiders.
another game. Who cares?
Raiders.
These teams are both 0-2. Believe it or not, these teams are both 0-2.
Yeah, dude, but the Titans, holy
Titans just
crap,
look so bad.
they look so bad.
I think this is an upswing, downswing situation. The Titans just have not looked great this season, and I think the Raiders, out of the 0-2 teams, are probably one of the best 0-2 teams, depending on if the Bengals decide to get their crap.
The Raiders they kind of had a rough start to the season.
Yeah,
but I think they'll
Raiders
pull it together.
had 2 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So,
but then we got the Chiefs and the Colts.
I think we all
Easy
know where
Chiefs.
this one's going.
Chiefs.
Easy.
I mean, the Colts.
I
What
feel
are
like
they doing?
this is going to be a blowout.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
This
I
is
don't
gonna be a
feel like
blowout.
I don't feel like it could be it's either going to be a blowout or the Chiefs are going to win in like a shootout. I feel like it could go either way here.
I think
I'm gonna
you'll
laugh
know
over
in
the
the
Colts
first quarter.
steal this one away.
If the Colts steal this,
That's what
I
I
wouldn't
heard.
be shocked because the Colts. I don't know, man. They're supposed to be.
I
a
mean,
good
this
team.
is setting
They're
up
supposed
for
to be a good team.
for an upset game of like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, how did they do it? And it's like there's
Yes.
always one or two a season.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be one of those because everyone's betting on Kansas City to take
We're
the
all-
spread. The Vegas,
and
is
we're all
gonna
picking
win
the Chiefs
game.
here, but that's what we got there.
Chiefs.
Oh,
But
this
all right,
one-
we're pretty
the next
split.
one
We're
This
split
one's
into.
fun.
Oh.
This one's gonna be fun.
How does
This
this not
gonna be
get
a
prime
good one.
time? How does
I know.
this
How
game-
is this a 1:00 game?
The Bills and the Dolphins? How
And
does
why are we
this not
getting
get
the
prime time?
Cowboys and the Giants on Monday night? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, come on, NFL.
But
yeah.
Miami, I feel like the Miami
We're the
Dolphins
Niners at the
people
bottom.
should explain their picks because you guys are I don't know if you guys would have made these picks last week. I'm just saying.
I would.
You would have picked it. Well, there you go.
I
All right,
picked
let's hear
it. Okay, so you know
I
how
picked this.
whenever we did the first week before we did all of our predictions, we did 3 weeks in the future. I picked the Dolphins from the start, dude.
Well, explain yourself.
Well, dude, I just think they're gonna sneak one here.
In Tua, we believe.
I believe in Tua and his weapons, especially more now, and I think that the Bills are gonna be really confident after that last win over the Titans, and I think they might. I mean, dude, we saw what the Dolphins did to the Ravens just in a half.
Yeah.
So they definitely have the weapons, and their defense is good enough to where I think they could be a very competitive game.
I would agree with you if Tua didn't throw for 400 and change yards and 6 touchdowns last week. Like, if I'm Buffalo, it's hard for me to sit there and be like, it's a whatever. We're just gonna fight the Dolphins. We got to win last week. There's nothing to
Tied
worry
the
about. Tua
franchise
only
records,
threw
by the
for
way.
400 and change yards and 6 touchdowns. Like, I think Miami would have had a better chance of winning this game if last week had not gone the way it did. Because I think that Miami is going to be riding a massive high, which can sometimes be dangerous if you're not a team that's used to that.
Yeah, but they're at
And
home.
I think they have put themselves
Who's at
firmly
home?
on the
Miami.
Bills'
Oh,
radar.
the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, I'll say the Miami's at home.
Miami's
now,
at home.
So
Mm-hmm.
it might
Did I
help
say that
them.
right?
I say it might help them.
Well, I think they're riding. I think they're riding really high, and I think what they did last week, especially Tua playing the way he did, put them firmly on the Bills' radar. To where if the Bills were gonna kind of take a week off, whatever that looks like in the NFL, they are no longer going to be doing that. They are going to be full focus on the Dolphins and treat them very seriously.
What you got on the
This could be a possible Super Bowl.
No,
it can't.
AFC championship.
They're in the same division.
Oh,
dude.
damn.
Playoff implications. Playoff implications.
It could be like an AFC champ. It could be an AFC champ. But I don't know. I don't think that. I got the Dolphins making the playoffs, but I think the Dolphins are going to get off to a hot start. They're going to simmer out in the middle of the season. They're going to get into the playoffs, maybe win a wild card game, probably lose it, and that's about all we hear about from the Dolphins.
I think the
Bills
Bills
are Super Bowl favorites.
The Bills' rushing defense is just like. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do what they did last week with Tyreek and Waddle, and I don't think you're going to be able to put. I think they're going to have a great game. I don't think this is going to be a Buffalo walks in and just handles business game, but I don't think that the Bills are going to let them run their offense the way they wanted to, like they did last week in the second half anyway.
Unlike the Lions, baby, we're gonna run all over the Vikings.
I'm picking the Vikings, but I want the Lions to win.
The Lions are taking it, buddy.
I'm picking the Vikings, but I want the Lions to win.
16-1.
TK, any reasoning behind the Vikings here? Because we all have already spoke our piece about the Lions. We love the Lions in this household.
I feel like Lions not. I don't know, man. I feel like this could be a good game.
It's just gonna be a good game.
It could be a good game, but Vikings and Lions. Vikings is a better team than the Lions.
They are.
I think so.
Kirk Cousins in the 1 o'clock window. Can't argue.
He's better in the 4 o'clock window.
He is better in the 4 o'clock window.
See, the thing is, there's a big difference between these two teams that nobody's mentioned yet. And that is the fact that the Detroit Lions are coached by one Motor City Dan Campbell. And so for that reason alone, I'm probably going to be picking the Lions to win every game for the rest of the season. I think that's the smart play,
All right. Next up, we got a clean sweep on the Ravens. I think we can all just kind of agree that the Ravens are a better team than the Patriots. Yes. They let that one get away from them last week. They just completely collapsed in the fourth quarter.
Ravens are going to be angry.
I think the Ravens
42 points.
I say they scored 40. They scored 42 points. So they scored 38 and they lost. So that's not on the Ravens offense. So I don't know.
And I think Ravens, too, last week, if it hasn't been cemented enough, I think last week really showed who the Patriots are as a team right now, and that is that they can win situational football games like they always have, but they just don't have that gear that they used to put them in a lot of games.
You want to know why they don't have that gear?
Win games like last
He's down
week,
in the Bay winning some
17
championships.
and 10, but I just don't think that the Patriots have anything to counter just the firepower that the Ravens do. And so, if the Ravens score 20 points, I think this game is out of reach for the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's just like the Panthers.
Hey, but what about this? We all getting a little bold, except for TK.
We are getting a little bold.
Very, very confident in the Jets right now.
But hey, the Bengals have let us down the last 2 weeks, so I mean, it's a safe bet for me to bet against the Bengals this week.
My justification for this pick is just the fact that I absolutely pooped on the Jets for this entire season. I know I wasn't here last week, but at least off camera, I was pooping on the Jets last week.
Yeah, you was.
You're pooping on them in spirit, dude.
And so out of respect for what they did last week, and because it's hilarious seeing the Browns be the Browns, and the fact that I have no idea what Cincinnati's doing, I just... At least
Jets?
I know who the Jets are. The Jets are the Jets.
And Joe Flacco's been balling out, my boy.
Hey, Joe Flacco, man, he's not playing bad. Not at all. But I honestly,
I'm disappointing though.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
I say the main reason I'm picking the Jets here is...
Why are you taking the Bengals though, bro?
Bounce back game.
Bounce back
game for.
You would assume this should be an easy win.
Yeah, it should be, but
it should
be an easy win, but
the last 3 games should have been easy games to win.
You mean the Super Bowl should have been an easy game to win?
No.
Well, I get what you say. Anyway,
Jamar Chase was open. That's all I'm saying. He was wide open.
Anyway, to get to a more interesting game to talk about in terms of going into it instead of post the game, we have the Eagles and the Commanders, and we are all for the Eagles.
Across the board, pretty obvious.
The Eagles showed us last week.
We do not support commies in this
Fuck the commies, dude. But no, the Eagles have looked amazing. Justin Hurts is
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Fucking hell.
Jalen.
Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts. I don't know.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I don't know. Anyway.
Next game, no more hometown favorites.
No.
Saints.
Week 3, and they've already broken our hearts, dude. So
I was telling Aaron the other day, I was like, I will go to a Panthers game just to boo Baker Mayfield. So,
I mean, he's been playing.
Hey, I'm going to the Tampa game. Y'all should go. Just go. I won't sit with you, but you should go.
Anyway, moving on. So I think that
you're very
coming into the
bold.
season, I was very bullish on the Panthers, and I'm still going to be pretty bullish on the Panthers because I feel very similar with the Panthers as I do the Patriots, just
it's
a little bit worse.
For the Panthers, man.
If the Patriots are the Target version and the Panthers are the Walmart version of the same team right now. Because the Panthers, to me, are just good enough to stay kind of close and give you a little bit of hope that they might pull it out, just like they always do, and then they're just going to fold. So,
What is Matt Rule, like 1 in 24 if they allow over 23 points or
Over
something?
17.
Over 17?
Over 17
Oh
points.
my God, dude, they got to fire his ass.
And I think the Saints are due for a game.
And he was see, and that was before that last game, so now he's 1 in 25. And in his career, I think he's 5 and like 26 or something.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But
All
okay.
right, the next one, though.
You guys are very bold.
Duval!
They're not even playing.
It don't matter, baby. Trevor Lawrence is going to show why he is the number 1 pick.
I think we all know
I can
why
agree
Aaron
with
and
you
I
on
picked
that
the
one,
Chargers. I feel like the Chargers.
I said it earlier, dude.
Justin Herbert's hurt.
I said it. No, he's not. He's going to be back. It was just bruising.
You can't. It's broken ribs. You can't
No,
come
it's
back.
not. It is not broken ribs.
Just for the audience's sake, so we don't sit here and sound like idiots for a much longer time, I'm going to check ESPN and see what the status is on Justin Herbert.
6 hours ago.
Really, he is still
Fractures to his rib cartilage.
Cartilage.
What does a fracture mean?
Bone.
Broken.
But it's not his rib bone.
Cartilage.
Cartilage is bone.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's like the back. It's
I'm
like
pretty
rib
sure
cartilage.
your ear cartilage and your bones feel a little bit
Feel a
different.
little bit different, dude.
But it's still problematic. I'm not going to understate. That's going to be very painful, but it does sound like it's something you could potentially play through.
I mean, it's something that he can... Dude, I mean, he was slinging things whenever he was...
Yeah, because that was against the Chiefs.
Yeah. I don't know. Who are they playing?
Anyway,
The Jaguars!
It's not like the Chargers.
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars!
It's not like the Chargers' only good player is Justin Herbert, and if Justin Herbert's out, I still think it could be a close game.
As long as you have a serviceable... As long as, like, your backup quarterback can
I
throw...
mean, Chase Daniels looks like year 13
20
in
yards.
the league, so...
Yeah, you just need to be able to throw, like,
He's been
20
around for a
yards,
while.
and you'll be okay.
All right, next one we got the Rams and the Cardinals. Rams are favored by 3.5.
Cardinals.
The
gotta be.
Cardinals, they played
Cardinals.
awesome for about 5 minutes. Of
Doesn't
that game.
matter. The Rams almost lost to the Falcons.
They did.
Buddy boy, I'm taking the Cardinals, dude. The Rams, I think, are going to be dookie this season.
the Rams
I want to
defense
pick
is
again.
not-
I'm picking the Rams, but I want the Cardinals to win. That's
I
how
think
I'm
this
going.
game really determines both teams' seasons because I think if the
Yeah,
Cardinals
I agree.
come out and
I
lay an
agree.
egg last week is just a fluke.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Well-
going to consider it a fluke
Well, especially also...
in a way, but
Especially because last year, didn't the Rams knock the Cardinals out of the playoffs? And then they beat them earlier in the regular season, too.
I
They
think
smoked
so.
them.
Yeah. They beat them in week 17 or week 18, and they also beat them in.
it'll be
The wild
interesting.
card.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be interesting seeing the Aaron Donald, Kyler Murray matchup because that is a unique thing for Aaron Donald to go against. But
Right.
I think it'll be a close game. It'll be an interesting game no matter what happens.
Oh, it's going to be a good game. I would watch it for sure. Once again, how is that not a primetime game?
Again,
It doesn't make any sense. Why have the Broncos already had, 2 primetime games?
because it's Russell Wilson.
But who gives? Dude, who
People.
cares?
Ratings, I guess.
Ratings.
Numbers.
I think more
I don't
people
think I've
would
even
rather-
watched a single Broncos game yet. I don't care. I don't care about the Broncos.
No.
The only
It's just 'cause
Broncos
it's on
game
Red
I
Zone,
watched
dude.
was when they played Seahawks.
Oh yeah, I did watch a little bit of that game.
Yeah.
Talking about the Seahawks,
Yeah, they're playing the Falcons.
and this is another game that I think
Don't
is
really care.
largely irrelevant.
I'm not very
Coin
confident
flip.
in my pick, but I need to make up ground on both Dominic and Chase. So picking the Seahawks.
Just to give a
Coin
little
flip.
bit on this game, I did, like a little bit of what I saw from the Falcons offense last week. They did show some signs of life and were able to move the ball a little bit. So, that's why I'm going with them over the Seahawks.
They're the 19th ranked offense. I mean, they're not terrible.
The Falcons?
Yeah. They're not terrible.
Who they played first week?
Their defense is 20.
First week?
Saints. They played,
the Saints,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they blew it.
And then last week they played the Rams, and then now they're playing the Seahawks.
But it could very well be that last week's, being able to move the ball in the Rams was the Rams getting up 28-3
Yeah,
and
just saying,
attempting
fuck it.
to do the same thing as the Falcons did. But, we'll see. I think no matter who wins this game, it really won't matter in terms of the playoff implications down the road. But,
I
who
agree.
knows?
I think,
looks like TK and I are the only ones stamping our ticket for the Geno train this week. Dude.
Yeah.
Well, we got America's Game of the Week coming up next. It's at the 4:25 window. Green Bay Packers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you remember last year, Green Bay Packers laid an absolute gooser against the Buccaneers.
Can we also talk about the fact about the ayahuasca celebration? That
Yeah,
they
you
did?
guys can talk about that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's not really much to talk about. That was just funny as hell.
I was, as soon as I saw it, I was surprised that there wasn't a fine
That,
something
or like a
that.
flag. I was like, that's not an excessive
I
celebration.
don't think they would have thrown a flag because I don't think the rest would have known what the hell they were doing.
All right, as a Buccaneers fan, you need to go on a 1 minute rant here. So Marshawn Lattimore is a little bitch. That's all I have to say about that. But Mike Evans.
Well, damn.
Mike Evans gets
He is.
Mike Evans gets suspended for 1 week in an already depleted receiving core. The Buccaneers just signed Cole Beasley, the veteran wide receiver, off the free agency market. So he's definitely going to be catching some passes from Tom Brady this week. Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified about this game. I really think that the Buccaneers can really just not play well. They don't have a good offense this year. I mean, even though they are one of the better teams in the league, they're only ranked in the 24th offense in the league. Leonard Fournette has not been getting a lot of holes. Our tight ends have not been playing well. Looking at you, Cam Bam, the touchdown man. And we need Chris Godwin back, but he is not back. So, all right. But go Bucks, baby.
That's a big puzzle piece.
But go Bucks,
I'm
baby.
kind of regretting this pick.
I'm not.
Well, that's because we had different picks. But I'm regretting my pick. I know I'm going to regret this, but if not, then whatever. I think... I don't know, it's tough because the Packers don't have any good players really either for their receiving core. So I think
it's going to be a snoozer.
Oh yeah, it's going to be like a fucking 10-7.
Like the
game or
Bucks
something
games
like
have been
that.
this season. It's just been snoozers.
Yeah, it's going to be a really boring game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. This is one that could go definitely either way, and that's what Vegas knows too. That's why they have it -2.
Yeah.
Same deal with the next game, Sunday Night Football, San Francisco at the Broncos. San Francisco's actually favored here by 1.5.
Jimmy G, baby.
We all got Jimmy G, baby.
Jimmy
Jimmy
G's
G.
about to fucking rock Russell Wilson's world up there in Denver, dude.
Yep. And then the Monday night game.
Why do you have the Giants?
Why do I have the Giants? Well, okay, I'll
Why
tell
do
you
you
why I
have
have
the
the
Giants?
Giants. I don't think Cooper Rush is going to repeat. I'm sorry, Mother. I know you're probably still listening. But I don't think Cooper Rush is going to be able to repeat this performance. It's in New York. It's on Monday Night Football. I think the Cowboys are going to come up a little short. The Giants have kept it close all year already. They've won by like a field goal every single week.
Because they played really shitty teams.
Yeah, well, they're playing another really shitty team.
But I think
So I'm just saying,
to
like,
kind of undercut Dominic a little bit and give an explanation.
I think that Saquon might go crazy.
Saquon's
I
good.
think- I
Mike is
don't-
going to keep him in check, I think. Mike has played pretty well.
You have DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. which I
DeMarcus
think
Lawrence
are
has
the-
been irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
he has his moments. But anyway, Micah Parsons, at the very least, is going to be a problem in the run game. I think
Absolutely.
that is safe to say that's the fiercest
Absolutely, yeah.
run stopper.
And
just
Leighton Vander Esch. I mean, he's still a
defensive
monster.
problem. And so I think it's going to be very hard for them to establish a run game. And whenever that doesn't happen, you're going to be putting your faith in Daniel Jones. And so when you put it like that, I just believe Cooper Rush, not that I have a ton of faith in the guy, but I think that against the Giants defense, he'll be able to put together like just one good drive and get one touchdown. And like you guys are saying, it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think it'll be like a 14-6 Cowboys win or it'll be under 20 points for both teams. I think.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's
I think
not.
The Cowboys' defense will be a bigger factor than what the Giants have relied on to get their last win.
Yeah. Well, that is our week 3 picks. We've definitely run them down there. A lot of questionable picks here and there. Definitely all but one of us taking the Jets. That's definitely questionable for a good amount of us there. Taking the Pittsburgh Steelers, all of you guys taking the Bears, and me taking the Texans. So a lot of good picks going on around here. I think the best games of the week, I think we can agree, Buffalo and Miami. Probably going to be a good game if Miami can hold up to how they've been playing. Let's see here. Who else is going to be a good game? Packers and Bucks are definitely going to be a good game. I think a sneaky good game is going to be Jacksonville and the Chargers. But yeah, that's just me. What do you guys think? Anyone had to add anything here?
I pretty much agree with you.
Yeah.
That Jaguars game is going to be one that's a lot of people's not thinking that's going to be good, but it's going to turn out to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I think this week is the most uneasy I have felt about my picks.
Yeah.
Last week, with all those teams having amazing comeback wins and amazing, choke jobs, it's hard to know what's real and, what's just, the Rams are a great example of that. Was it just they took their foot off the gas, they're playing Atlanta and it's week 2 and they don't care, or do they have real problems? It's really hard to figure out what to make of week 2's action. So I think it'll be an interesting week and a real tone setter for what teams are really for real and what teams just had amazing happenstance last week.
I agree. I think this week's definitely one that could go a lot of different ways. I think there's still a lot of uncertainty with it still being week 2.
Yeah.
Just the end of week 2. So I think some teams that we think are going to be terrible this year are definitely going to turn it around, and I would still, assume teams like the Giants are going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
And they might start out 2-0, but the Panthers started out 3-0 last year. We ended up going 5-12.
Yeah.
So it's still so hard. Like the NFL is just crazy just because it's so difficult to always predict what's going to happen from week to week. But that's why it's also amazing. You have the top 1% of the 1%.
Amen.
Especially this season.
I was going to say, this season I do think, paying attention to at least the last few seasons, this season has a lot of teams with a lot of uncertainty going on, even more so than last year's. You got people like the Browns that you for sure won't even know what they are until Deshaun Watson gets back. So,
yeah,
right.
I think you got a lot of situations where there's just a lot of uncertainty at skill positions to where, they could, the Bengals another great example. They went from a team that's in the Super Bowl to could be one of the worst teams in the league. And I don't even think it's because Joe Burrow got worse as a quarterback. I just think as an organization, they just don't know what they're doing or don't have a lot of direction right now. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, that's week 3. Well, we're going to do something new here on the Sport Ball. We're going to go ahead and try to give you guys our power rankings. We're going to kind of compare them off of the NFL power rankings for this week of week 3 coming up. So coming in at 32, the NFL has the Houston Texans at 0, 1, and 1. But I think we've all kind of come to a consensus that we don't agree with this pick.
Yeah. Are we making? Do we have the way to make our own list right now?
I was just going to move the presentation around.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put the Texans 32nd.
No, I wouldn't either. I definitely think another team should be there.
I think around 27 to 25.
Maybe a little high.
I was going to say solid 20.
I was going to say
Texans?
25. I think they're like around 25 is
23.
max.
I would definitely say it's very hard because I think.
All right, well, let's instead of the Texans. All right,
who would be the 32nd team?
I'd say let's go with who would you put in at 32? Carolina.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah,
Carolina.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard to argue against.
Yeah. Dude, we look terrible.
Having them in the playoffs is really hurting my soul right now.
Same, dude.
But, when you're making picks and they have some promises, the hometown team, you got to do what you got to do. It's not going to be the death of you.
All right, the only reason I would argue not moving the Texans anywhere else is that their offense has amassed maybe 250 yards once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think,
It's
and their
bad.
defense is pretty bad.
It's bad.
So I really do think that I would just keep the Texans at 31.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't put them below the Bears.
But I don't.
I wouldn't put them below. I wouldn't put them.
think
I wouldn't put
Bears
them
are
above
way
the
too
Falcons.
low. I think the Bears.
Yeah,
are
I wouldn't put them above the
way
Falcons.
They're
too
definitely
low.
not better than Jacksonville.
They're not better than the Seahawks.
I think the Colts could move down a lot this coming week.
I'm gonna say
we'll
the
leave
Colts
them
should.
where they are right now.
Well,
Not
I was
where
just
they
about to
are on the
argue
NFL's list,
number
but
30. I think we should move the
I would
Colts
say
down
the
to 30.
Colts are probably there because they're
Colts to 30.
Yeah, I agree.
struggling.
Aaron, what do you think? Colts to 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been super disappointing,
Yeah.
dude.
I would even say Washington to go. I think the Bears are fine where they're at.
At 29.
I think the Bears are fine. I would move Washington though. What do you guys think about Washington being next after the Bears?
So we got 32, 31, 30, 29.
I still don't like the Bears being.
The Bears' offense is the worst offense in the league.
I don't buy that
It's-
though.
Justin Fields.
You're telling me that the
got,
Bears'
15
offense is worse than the Panthers' offense?
Yes.
They scored 10 points on Sunday Night Football, and I don't think they got 200 yards.
They played the
All we
fucking
can have to do
Packers
is
though,
kick
dude.
field goals.
We can pull up the numbers.
Yeah, like it's
Dude. Okay. I mean, if you guys think that's where they should be, then
they're not good.
I'll agree with you, man. I'll agree with you.
All right, and then at 28, well, who do we want at 28?
I would argue that the Commanders are there. I think Jacksonville and the Falcons are where they should be. I think Jacksonville has strong potential to move up for sure, but for now, I think that's all right.
You guys agree with that? Put the
What do you
commies
guys think?
down.
Yeah, I'd put the Commies
Yeah.
definitely below Jacksonville.
So
I would put
28 are the commies. So 27 Falcons.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would put the Seahawks,
below the Jets and the
Jags,
Jags.
for sure. I think the Jags can be quite a bit higher.
All right, so
Maybe not
27,
quite a bit.
26.
I don't want to.
Not quite. A
I
bit.
don't
I think
wanna
the
be too
Steelers are
harsh on-
criminally a little
I
low.
think the Steelers should be below Jacksonville.
I argue we drop Tennessee.
Oh well, yeah, for sure.
Drop Tennessee down to right below the Seattle, right above Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue it.
You're going above Seattle.
Like right here. So 26
Yeah.
Seattle, 25
That's
Tennessee.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I would put the Jags over the Jets.
So then 24 the Jets. 23 the Jags.
I think they can potentially
I would still
move
say
up.
put them up maybe a little higher.
I think the Jags are better than the Browns.
Okay.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah. What about you, TK? What you thinking?
I'll get behind it.
Do you think the Browns are better than the Jags or worse than the Jags?
I think they're better.
You think the Browns are better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that one's one that's very close.
So we
Yeah.
can keep it here. We can just keep it 23, 22.
But again, they're probably going to move up as soon as
the
we.
only reason that I'm putting the
They're
Jags,
pretty comparable. Look at the rankings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like the only reason I'm putting the Jags above the Browns is because they just shut out a team.
Yeah, they did.
That does not
Okay.
happen very
It's
often.
pretty impressive.
That does not happen very often in today's NFL. So
All right, so we got 23 Browns, 22 Jags. Who do we want in at the 21 spot? I'm okay with putting the Steelers right there. I think they're still. I think
I
they're
think
a
the
little high.
Cowboys.
I would put. I think the Cowboys are better than the Steelers with Dak, but I.
But
don't
Dak's
know
not
about-
playing.
All right, so
That's
let's
what-
put
that's the
21
thing.
Dallas
So, are we doing with these power rankings
right
just
now,
to be-
as they are.
Just
as they
to
are.
clarify, are we doing power rankings like for the rest of the season, or like power
As they are
rankings
now.
going
As they-
into this coming
as they
week?
are
of
now.
what
Going
power
to-
rankings?
Going
they
into
are.
this next
Then
week.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
go
as they are now.
Then I would say, yeah, I'd put them behind the Jags too.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're worse than the Browns.
No.
No.
But I think it's close. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I like it.
I don't know. Maybe I would put the Browns above the Cowboys.
No.
I just like
I
what I've
wouldn't.
seen out of the
I
Cowboys
would.
defense.
Yeah, me too. I think the Cowboys defense is
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
All right, so then 28 is the Steelers. What about 19? I can cool with keeping the Giants.
I think they're cool right there.
Yeah, Giants are cool at 19. I think they're a little hot at 2-0.
They're a little high, but I think it's just because other teams have played worse.
Their defense, to give them credit, their defense has played very well. Their defense has been playing very well.
But they've also played the Titans, who only scored 7 points against
the Panthers.
Bills. And the Panthers.
So I think this is a thing where they're probably going to be dropping.
But but you look at those two teams right there. They also played against Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but they also practice against Saquon.
Exactly.
So of course they have a good run defense, but they're playing.
You gotta give them credit where credit's due.
But who are they playing again this week?
They're playing the Cowboys, so they're playing Zeke and Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
So if they do it again, are they valid? I would say so. They got a good rush defense.
Yeah.
So anyway, 19.
Yeah.
Anyway, arguing about the 19th. 18. Yeah, I'd say keep the Patriots there. Maybe a little lower for them, but.
I would say
put the Giants in front.
I would say put the Giants in front. Yeah, for sure.
If they matched up right now, I think they would win.
I'm not behind that, but I don't. I'm not completely.
It's one spot
out of pocket with it. Yeah,
it's one spot. All right, and then Broncos coming in at 17.
I don't like it, but.
What do you think? I mean, what are you thinking?
I just did not.
I mean, they squeaked. They lost to the Seahawks. And then they barely squeaked out a win against the Texans, dude.
Yeah, but look at the rankings.
Yeah. Okay. I would put them below the Giants.
We'll leave them there.
I would put them below the Giants.
I'd put them below the Giants and the Cowboys, but
No, not below the Cowboys, but I would put them below the Giants. TK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Below the Giants?
Yeah,
below the Giants.
I'll allow it.
It's one
I
spot.
got to remember Cooper Rush is playing for them.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that Cowboys offense is better than it is.
Okay, and then 16, Motor City.
I think
put them higher.
I definitely say put them above the Raiders. The Raiders are 0-2.
I think the Raiders are still better.
But look at who the Raiders have played. They played the Chargers and the Cardinals.
Eagles.
I'm talking about the Raiders.
But the Lions lost by 3 points to the Eagles. And then they beat the Commanders.
I think these two teams
it's fair.
Similar arguments.
I think it's a valid argument for the Lions to go up.
No, I think they're fair.
I think they're too high.
They're overruled.
You think the Lions are too high?
No, keep them where they are. But
I think they're fine where they are.
All right, Raiders at 15.
And that's fine, yeah.
Yes. Even though they're 0-2.
Arizona Cardinals at 1-1.
I say keep
at
them.
14.
That's fine.
Okay. Saints coming
I
in
would
at 13.
put the Saints below the Lions.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Below the Raiders?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes them 16, 15, 14.
That's crazy, dude. The Raiders are 14th in our rankings, and they're 0-2.
Bengals,
the Bengals
are
way too high,
at
dude.
12.
Too high. I would put them below the Cowboys.
For right now, going into
the next week.
This is a bit borderline disrespectful, but until the Bengals do something with their offensive line, they're not getting out of the top. They're not getting into the top 20.
No, they have to.
They can go straight from the 20s into the top 10s if they figure out their offensive line.
If they blow out I forget.
Just fix the offensive line.
But if they blow out the Jets this week, dude, I'll be like, all right. Maybe
you can have your spot back.
Until then,
you're going down. You're going to the back of the line.
Against the Bengals.
But if the Jets win,
that's sad.
Then that means that the Bengals have to fall below the Jets. Because the Jets will be 2-1.
Yeah, well, the Jets will move up if they beat the Bengals.
So 12 at Cardinals, 11 are the Vikings. I say keep them there outside the top 10.
I don't like it, but keep them.
I like them there. I'll have to see what teams are below it.
We got to see what they do against the Lions.
I feel like they're going to move down. But
I got to see what they do.
I think that might be the biggest disappointment.
Yeah. All right, 10 the Ravens.
I
need
to
see
teams around. Lead, and they only scored 24 points against the Jets.
Yeah. Only 24, but like you said, they didn't really try to score in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But their defense is ranked 32nd.
And I think,
but that doesn't make any sense, though. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
They gave up 42 points and 500 yards to Tua.
Yeah, but defensive number
they weren't prepared for that.
Largely depend on how good the Dolphins are.
Ain't no way in hell that you would have thought that Tua would put up that number.
It's inflated. I know, it's inflated.
That was the first time that they've dealt with those teams or with that team being built like that. So you don't know what to expect playing defense. So I think them being 32nd is fucking heinous by the NFL.
I think it makes sense for
I would put them above the 49ers. I'd put the 49ers at 10.
I would probably put the Baltimore Ravens put them like 25th or like 22nd. Don't put them 32nd, dude. That's ridiculous. For defense.
Oh, you're talking about defense.
Yeah.
He's looking at the the offensive and defensive numbers.
Oh,
yeah, for them to
okay.
be ranked last is heinous, dude.
But
All
is
right.
that just for reference? Is that number based on what the NFL ranked them, or is that like the overall yard?
That's their overall defensive ranking.
That's
the
what,
rank.
is it statistics or the
Statistics,
okay.
yeah, statistics.
Okay, well then, yeah, I don't care. That means nothing then to me.
Yeah. All right, anyway, I would still put them above the 49ers, but the 49ers at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though Jimmy G might be a G.
Yeah, that number 32. All that number 32 is
I don't
because
like
Tua
that.
popped.
I would put
I don't like that.
I would put the Dolphins I would
That's
drop the
fine.
Rams to below the Dolphins.
Yeah.
for this.
Actually,
week.
I would drop the Rams to below the Ravens.
Yeah,
I
that's
like it.
fine
Yep.
for this week. They'll probably move back up, but if
Maybe.
if they keep just hard selling in the second half, then no, they're not going to go back up.
I would drop Green Bay.
I
as well.
dropped the Chargers.
Yeah, that's fair. One spot.
Herbert's out this week.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe. I think Green Bay needs to drop below the 49ers.
That's
heinous.
I don't think they should be.
That's
fifth,
okay,
though. I don't think they should be fifth, but-
not below the 49ers, but at least below the Rams.
Yeah,
Below the Rams.
They just
The Green Bay does not look
they
good.
could figure it out. That's the thing with a lot of these
Aaron Rodgers
teams
hasn't done anything.
and the power rankings is a lot of these teams, especially on the higher end, have a lot of potential to figure it out, and so it's your power rankings can really be affected by how much faith you have in that potential. And I think we're going to get to the Bucs. They're another team that I think really exemplifies that. 'Cause
Yeah, I
having
think
them
the
at
Bucs
4
need to drop to right in front of Green Bay.
Yeah.
They're better than the Rams.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're good.
what? So they're
I don't like the Dolphins
Tampa
being
Bay.
that
Tampa
high.
Bay down to 7, dude. But if you're going off what they've done, I mean they're 2-0, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If this is
Right?
just 1
Yeah,
week
2-0.
rankings, then yeah.
I mean we're just going off how they're playing. I think top
This is
3 is
fine.
fine.
Top 3, yeah. Those have been the 3 teams that have
Eagles,
displayed
Chiefs,
the
and
most
Bills. Yeah,
dominance.
those,
Leave
yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, so that is our power rankings. So our final power rankings, we'll just run them down real fast for you guys. So at 32nd, we got the Carolina Panthers, they're ranked at 0-2.
So sad.
We got the 31st ranked Houston Texans at 0-1-1. We got the 30th ranked Indianapolis Colts at 0-1-1. The 29th ranked Chicago Bears at 1-1. The 28th ranked Washington Commies at 1-1. The Atlanta Falcons coming in at 27th at 0-2. The Seattle Seahawks coming in at 26th, 1-1. The 25th ranked Tennessee Titans at 0-2. We got the 24th ranked New York Jets at 1-1. Heinously low. Joe Flacco for MVP. Cleveland Browns ranked at 23rd at 1-1.
I still like the Jets over the Browns, man.
22nd, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at 0-2. At 21, we got the Dallas Cowboys at 1-1.
And then for the top 20, we got the Jaguars breaking in at the 20th spot. Number 19, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin's never had a record below 500, so he's on track to repeat that. Number 18, we got the Patriots coming in at 1-1. Can never count out Belichick. We got the Broncos in at 17. New York Giants coming in at 16. They're looking all right, but I don't know. I think they'll fall.
We'll see how they play against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a pretty easy schedule. The Cowboys and the Bears coming up, so.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Saints in at 15. Nothing much to really say about them. The babies, dude. Detroit Lions coming in at 14.
Look at that fourth-ranked offense.
fourth
Look at that
ranked
fourth-ranked offense.
Jared
Jared
Goff,
Goofball.
MVP.
Jared Goofball. baby.
MCDC Coach of the Year. You
Yes,
heard it here
sir.
first.
Absolutely insane. Definitely the highest ranked 0-2 team, I believe.
Yeah.
We have the Raiders in at 13. Cardinals in at 12, just sneaking in past the Raiders there. Minnesota Vikings at at the 11th spot. We expect them to fall throughout the weeks. We'll have to see. 49ers coming in at the 10 slot. Jimmy G making a good comeback there in that Seahawks win. Not really a comeback, but comeback to the game. Proved he was worth that contract.
Hey, not a shock. I mean, the 49ers have the number 1 ranked defense.
Yep.
I mean, that defensive line is absolutely scary.
If Jimmy G plays well, they do have potential to move up and be a real force. Because, I mean,
sure.
they essentially have the construction when they went deep in the playoffs. A really good defense. Jimmy G does enough to win games. And
they got a really hard schedule coming up, though. They got to play the Broncos. They got to play
they
the
might
Rams.
not.
They got to play the Rams twice, the Broncos, the Chiefs. I mean, whew.
Yeah, but then they also play the Panthers.
I mean, they got some nice games in the middle there.
Panthers and the Falcons.
They got 2 dubs, the Panthers and the Falcons in the middle there.
So, continuing on with your top 10, coming at 9, we have the Green Bay Packers.
And their
pretty mid.
Defense is
I think
right
they're
there.
mid, but I think we have high expectations just because Rodgers is there.
I will say a lot of these teams, I feel like in the back half of the top 10 are teams that could be in the top 5, or they could be in the bottom 10 of the league.
Yep.
You know, and
Either way, I like it.
It's
a lot
also
of this is just. Well, not bottom 10 of the league. I misspoke there. It's
I would say like
more so
the
that they
top
could be
15,
top 5, but they're really just not doing what their expectations are.
Or they're hurt. I mean, a lot of these bottom 10
Could
teams
be,
also, we got a lot of teams out of here that are potentially going to lose a couple games here in the season because of injuries or suspensions.
Or suspensions.
But yeah, the Packers here, we'll see how they go against the Bucs. Speaking of the Bucs, never mind.
Oh, no. Coming in at 8, we got the LA Rams. They've been, I think everyone would agree, they've been kind of disappointing so far this season.
28-3, almost blew it.
Yeah, I mean, almost blowing that game to the Falcons is pretty horrible.
And they looked bad against the Bills.
Yeah, and I think the Cardinals will be a really good test for them and for everyone else around the league to see what they're really capable of. Coming in at 7, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They definitely slid back compared to where NFL had them.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a fair spot. They definitely deserve to be in the top 10, being a 2-0. But they definitely have a lot to prove if they want to climb up in our rankings.
This
here.
offense is really not looking great.
No, it's not. But
this offensive line looks bad.
No, it does. But you also have a lot of backups in there. But also if they come out with a pretty solid win over the Packers and their defense and their offense, I think they could definitely maybe clutch at a top 5 position. I don't think they'd break more than 5th position, but they might be able to climb up 2 spots next week based on how they perform.
They're going to have 2 good games coming up. I think the Chiefs is going to be really hard. The Packers is going to be, I think, a 50-50 game. It'll be really interesting to see. We've talked
the Buccaneers
about
schedule.
But
the Buccaneers is a gauntlet. Buccaneers have a gauntlet.
They have 3 weeks, though, with the Falcons, Steelers, and Panthers that they could really get a rhythm going and go into the second half.
And then they got the Ravens coming up.
The Ravens game is a Thursday night football game.
That's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they're at.
Coming in at 6, though.
Speaking of the road, there's the Ravens.
We got the Ravens. If they won that game against the Dolphins, they'd definitely
easily be top 3.
They'd be top 3, and I think we can all pretty much
basically
agree
if they
on that.
didn't allow them to score like 24 points in the fourth quarter, they'd be top 3.
Lamar Jackson's on track to have an MVP caliber season again.
Yeah,
I really hope he continues to play the way that he is and he stays healthy. And I'm pretty sure at 5th position we have the Dolphins.
Nope.
Oh, we have the Chargers. Okay, I'm mistaken. Sorry.
No, you're good. This is fully dependent on if Justin Herbert is healthy.
Yeah. I think
they drop out of the top 10 if he's not.
If we knew
maybe not the top 10.
I think if we knew that he was fully healthy and he never had that issue in that last game, I think they could easily be a top 3 team.
They could have won.
Because they could have won that game for sure. So I think it just depends. I really still have a lot of faith in the Chargers and Herbert. I think I'm still a believer in the fact that he can probably have a...
They have an easy schedule.
I was about to say, they've
Jaguars,
got a long time to get
Texans,
going.
Browns, Broncos, Seahawks. That's an easy schedule.
They could be they need to be going into that bye feeling really good. So
2 losses max.
If they fumble the ball here with these games coming up before the bye, they're going to be in a really...
The only game they should lose coming up in the next few
Broncos.
is the one to the Broncos.
Yeah.
And that's not even a should lose.
No, that's not even a hard maybe.
Yeah, like they should win that game,
Yeah.
but that's one I could see them potentially drop it. But
Yeah.
then moving
Now
on to
we
the
got
4th,
the
we have
Dolphins,
Dolphins.
baby.
I want to take a minute because I feel like I'm the only one here that has a different take. I feel like that there is a strong chance that these guys are way too high, and this is overreaction Monday material.
But look at their schedule,
wrong.
though.
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I think they're gonna get a chance to play the Bills. So we'll see how that goes.
This is a big game. They could be 2-0 in the division after this.
I want to see
3-0.
2-0 in the division.
If they do really well against the Bills, I'll back off of this take. But I feel like this week specifically, everybody's riding a little too high off of that miraculous comeback.
If they beat the Bills and the Chiefs let's say the Chiefs just win. All right, let's say they win like a 28-21 ball game, and the Dolphins beat the Bills.
That's insane.
Are we putting the Dolphins at number 1?
No.
Hell no.
No.
No. Because I still don't have that faith, dude.
At that point,
because you know who I'm putting at number 1? The Eagles, baby, at number 3.
Number 3, we got the Eagles.
Because they're going to beat the shit out of the Commies this week.
Yeah, but also, dude, I don't know. Their strength of schedule is one of the weakest in the NFL this season.
Yeah, and that's what's going to keep them out of the number 1 spot.
Well, they have
no. For me, it's not even that.
They have the massive advantage of being in the NFC East.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I think they'll look dominant throughout the regular season just because of their schedule and also just how they've been playing. But I think once they get into the playoff with some, the better teams.
Once they run into like a Rams.
Yeah.
Or like
I also think their offense is a little bit overblown, being ranked first.
Yeah, it's a little high.
They've just been a little.
And also, I don't know how you can put their defense being ranked 14th whenever they let the Lions score 35 on them.
It's true.
It's just the way the numbers chalk.
They must have really shut down the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 2 is the Chiefs. Kind of obvious, they blow out the Cardinals, and then they get a really nice win against the Chargers. One that they could have lost if Justin Herbert probably would have been
blessed
healthy.
win, pretty much.
Yeah, a blessed win there. But Chiefs are always going to be one of the best teams in the league. And so that's pretty much all I have to say about the Chiefs. Anybody else? I mean, I think the Chiefs
I think the top 2 teams are pretty
self-explanatory.
Pretty set right now. The Chiefs are who we thought they were, and the Bills are who we thought they were. And I feel like those are the only 2 top teams that have come out and been pretty much exactly as expected. I mean, some people were worried about the Chiefs, I know, so you could argue they're a bit of a surprise, but, I feel like they've earned the right to get kind of that Bucs treatment, or that Brady treatment at least, where it's like, if you've got Patrick Mahomes, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt of starting in the top 5 unless we have serious concerns about the rest of the team.
The Bills are ranked 3rd.
Josh Allen's definitely that guy, bro.
Yeah, respectively. Yeah.
He's that guy.
And Stephon Diggs is that guy.
Even though, dude, look at their look at their schedule, though, dude. They have
it's a gauntlet. Oh, it's a gauntlet.
The Dolphins, the Ravens, the Steelers, whatever. The Chiefs,
and
then the Packers, dude. That's ridiculous.
It's a gauntlet.
That is ridiculous.
But if any king could do it.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Could do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is definitely the NFL power rankings.
Yeah, that's all the NFL in review, pretty much. That's all we promise spending on NFL this week.
We promise it won't take that long the next time to do our power rankings. We'll probably have them
next time. No, not even that. Next time, I think we don't use the NFLs. We just go based off.
That's what I'm saying. We'll have hours, and we'll just go off of hours next time.
We'll do a tier list instead.
We'll
do a tier list.
No.
We can do that. We can do that at the end of the season. We can make a tier list at the end of the season.
But we can definitely do the power rankings like we did this, like the arrow, like they moved up to.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do something like that, and then also for the end of the year, whenever we get to the playoffs, I think we'll have 2 ways of counting our predictions. So we'll have either one. So what was yours, Dominic?
I was thinking like we could have one where it's like you got X amount of teams out of 7 to make the playoffs. So if you just get let's say you got all 7 out of 7 teams right, it's like cool, good job.
No matter of what position they were in, as long as you got all 7 teams right, you get 7 points.
And then we were also thinking of some sort of point system
to where you would get a maximum of 7 points per team selection. So say you had the Bills to finish first in the AFC. If that happens, then you'll get a full 7 points for that position. But say like you're like Dominic and you have the Colts finishing number 1 in the AFC and they end up not making the playoffs at all, you would get 0 points.
Yeah.
Or if they make it in as like a wild card and like in the 7th spot, you get 1 point. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be an interesting way of kind of divvying up like who took the biggest risk and like, you know what I mean? So I think that'd be a cool way to do 2 different point systems.
Yep.
So we'll definitely do that.
I like it.
Yeah, but for now,
Yeah, that's the NFL.
yeah, NFL. I'm really excited. I think we're all excited for Week 3. It's going to be a really good one. I think they really messed up on the time slots for some of the games.
The primetime games have been pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
the
far.
primetime games have been weird.
But Dominic
those two
hooked
Monday-
us all up with Red Zone. So.
Yeah, but we got.
Yeah, I mean, we all definitely watch Red Zone because it's the only way to watch football now,
Facts.
honestly.
Facts.
But we're definitely going to move on to NASCAR because I think we had a definitely interesting race that happened on Sunday or Saturday night. Was it Saturday night?
Saturday
It was
night.
Saturday.
Yeah, it was
Saturday
Bristol. It was
night.
a Bristol night race.
Yeah. So
I
I
don't
mean,
know as much about this.
do like right front tires exist? Like holy shit, that was
Not
horrible.
Bad for the Blaney team.
Bad for all teams. Bad for a whole team Penske. All,
Yeah.
all four of the drivers.
Just before
Well,
the podcast.
Blaney's not in it no more because of
No,
that.
he's in
No,
it.
he's in it.
Blaney made it, but just before the podcast, there was a penalty given out due to the pit road incident with
Yeah.
Blaney losing a tire where Blaney's crew chief and two of his crew members, I believe the Jackman, and I'm forgetting who the other one was, but the crew chief and two crew members are going to be suspended for 4 races, which is essentially the entirety of this round. So I think the Blaney team is going to have their hands full.
Luckily, they're
After
in
the
the eighth. They're in the
Bristol
eighth
race.
slot right now as it stands in the playoffs. So they would still make the cut, but they need to win a race. That Blaney team needs to win a race.
These playoffs,
they need it.
These playoffs as a whole essentially mean nothing in terms of points coming in. This is a super tight top to bottom playoff spread going into these rounds. I believe historically Chase Elliott is the only one that's
Safe.
far enough ahead to where no one that's his amount of points above the cut line coming in have ever been knocked out. But everyone else is either close enough to where they can be knocked out or they can point their way in.
It is
I think it's a very tight field.
It is
across the
only
board.
a 6-point difference between the 4th spot and the 8th spot between Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney.
That's
I think that's both good and bad for Blaney. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, that is really bad for
There,
Blaney.
there's a lot of people in contention, which means there's a lot of variability. There's not really, there's not 4 guys ahead of him that he has no shot at catching, but he also has a ton of guys that are right behind him ready to knock him out. So, just across the board,
this
it's
is
really
where
good,
you don't be buddy. What
Yeah.
you're racing for a championship.
Yeah, you
at
got to
this
start
point.
racing at this point.
At
there's-
this point, even the teammates don't really matter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you.
I mean, they do, but I mean,
Joey does.
yeah.
Joey does.
What? The Cindric's on the line, right?
Cindric's down at the bottom. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's still only a what
But none of those guys have even-
13-point
but none
difference
of those
between
guys have-
Cindric and 4th. So
But none of them have won a race, right? In the playoffs.
yeah,
Nobody
No,
has.
no
Yeah.
playoff driver.
That's
No
crazy.
playoff
dude.
drivers have.
That's crazy.
Except
For Chase.
Chase.
Well,
Yeah, Chase won one.
He hasn't won in the playoffs.
I thought he has. Yeah.
No.
No, he
No.
hasn't won in the
He
playoffs.
has not
though.
won in the playoffs.
No, dude.
What?
You can check. Go pull up race winners. Just recent race winners.
I thought I had him right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Kyle Larson has. That's who it was.
At the Glen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Kyle Larson.
Well, apologies. Either way, it doesn't transfer to the next round. So
No.
But I definitely think that there are a lot of playoff drivers. I mean, Chase Elliott finished second on Saturday, so it's not like these guys aren't close to winning. So I think that it's really, really competitive across the board.
I want to see Daniel Suarez go to the next round so bad.
Do you, who
I'm a
do
fan
you,
of-
who do
I'm-
you see?
I'm a fan of Trackhouse.
Who needs this next win?
Ryan Blaney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blaney really needs a win. I think Reddick is going to have to win.
Reddick's out.
Oh, I apologize. This is the whole playoff standings.
Yeah, it's from Cindric up.
Well, yeah, Tyler Reddick obviously needed to win. But
Didn't do that.
Blaney's the one that I think is going to have to win to get in.
Well, Blaney's going to have
But-
to win to get to the Final Four. He's already
He got
in
to.
the next cut at 8. He could win and get into the next cut.
I'm saying just overall, I think there's guys behind him that can point ahead of him.
He's the only one left in the chase that doesn't have a win. Think about that.
How do you get into the playoffs? Then?
Points. He's finished like top 5. Like he's on average like a top 5
Oh,
finisher.
because he wasn't gonna get in, but then Kurt
Yeah, but then
Yeah. Okay. All
I'm
right,
saying what
all
I'm
right.
saying though is yes, he is secure right now.
Wasn't this a
But I'm saying that he is like the people behind him are going to get more points in this round to where he is going to have to win to move on.
Yeah, maybe.
That is how I
Maybe.
see it going for Ryan Blaney. But in order, and if he's
His real only competition
assuming
is
he
Bowman.
makes it through this round, he is going to have to win to get into the
I
Final
would say
Four. I feel like
Bowman
that's
is his
I would say
biggest
Bowman's was really only his
competition
true
right now.
competition to bump him off of 8.
Mhm.
I mean, Cindric maybe. Cindric can get a win. I mean, he's not like incapable of getting a win, but where would he get one? He's Dega maybe. Dega's wide open. So Texas is this week, Texas is this weekend. And then Dega's wide open. Anybody can win Dega.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then the
Suarez is
Roval, and then the
gonna be a problem at the
Roval's
Roval.
probably going to go to Chase.
Roval might be where Suarez gets a win.
That's the big.
Maybe.
That's the big.
I'm
Trackhouse
going-
has been good on the road.
Yeah, but it's also
but
Chase's track. It's
Chase's
Chase's track. So there's nothing.
But,
I don't know, dude. It was Larson's whenever we went.
Yeah, it was Larson and then he wrecked. Yeah,
But
No, Larson won.
Chase up. Oh, you're right. Larson did win. You're right.
if you remember, though, I mean, these road races, you know what happened at the Indy Road Course. So I mean, Chase Elliott could have a similar situation where he's running up front and then a bunch of shenanigans go on and he gets punted. So I
Not
think
the shenanigans.
Not the shenanigans.
it's just hard for me to really assume anybody's going to get in. I really do think these playoffs are just totally wide open. But I will say I don't think Ross Chastain is going to make it to the Final Four. He has not looked good in the playoffs so
not the
far.
playoffs.
And he's putting himself in the perfect
All it takes is
nightmare
one win, though,
scenario for earlier in the season.
All
where
it
he-
takes is one win, buddy.
That's the exact scenario that I'm talking about. He is going to be in a position to win a race, and everyone's going to know, if we just make sure he doesn't win this specific race, he's been running horrible and has he's not in off of points alone. And so I think he's putting himself in a position where he needs that one win, and somebody's going to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm not saying anybody will crash him, but there's a lot of ways just to bump him out of the way or give them a little bump to where their arrow's working a little funky. So I think he's putting himself in a really rough spot. But we'll see. I think there's
It's
a lot
still
of
up in the
competitive
air.
drivers.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the most competitive chase that we've
And that's
seen.
exactly what NASCAR wanted it to be.
Yeah.
NASCAR
Well,
wanted it to be
they did a
competitive.
great job with the new cars.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
think
look at the big
there's-
names that are not left.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have Kyle Busch.
We
I
don't
mean, just
have
the fact that
Kevin
Reddick,
Harvick.
just the fact that Reddick finally got a dub, dude, and it's interesting that he's staying with the number
Truex
8 car
Jr. is a
through
big one,
next
too.
year.
Yeah.
He's staying. So I'm excited
Big
to
Brad?
see. Huh?
No Big Brad either.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, and look at Raikkonen, dude.
Look at Raikkonen holding it down in
Raikkonen.
41st.
Yeah.
did he even get a
That's-
point?
No,
Yes, he got 1 point.
Yeah.
No, he got.
Yeah,
He
he
got
got 1
1
point.
Oh,
That's why he's in 41st.
Oh yeah.
he got
Hey,
crashed.
shout out to Greg Biffle
Dude,
too,
but
still on there.
okay, but if he didn't if he didn't get crashed out, because it wasn't even his fault that he crashed. Raikkonen might have had a top 10 finish in his first ever NFL race. NFL race.
NFL.
Not Jesus, NASCAR race, dude.
Yeah.
Like that would be insane. Sorry, my brain's still scattered.
That's just
You
to
only
give,
spent an hour on it.
just to give a little bit of a shout out of interesting things going on in NASCAR. If you're not familiar, Trackhouse has this. What is it? Driver 91.
Project 91.
Project-
Yeah, Project 91.
They have a car essentially that is a third car for their team that is set up for anyone of different forms of racing or people that have retired. Maybe a Jimmy Johnson now that's running.
I want to see
IndyCar,
Alonso
just
do
for
it,
them
man.
to come
I wanna
back
see
and have a
Alonso.
competitive ride. And we see, like you're talking about, Fernando Alonso. That would be really interesting because that car is not, a joke of a car. It's
capable
a
of a top
competitive
10,
car, especially at road
obviously.
races.
Yeah.
So, Fernando Alonso would be really, really interesting
That'd
to see
be
hop
awesome.
in that car.
Or
for sure.
Vettel, since he's
Seb
retiring.
retiring, that'd be
Dude,
really
Seb
interesting.
retiring, him coming, dude.
I'm
Listen.
sure Lewis might want to try to do
Yeah,
it maybe at some
and
point.
I
That'd be
think
pretty cool.
that. Thank you, TK. I think that Raikkonen will probably put in a good word to other drivers.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really
Easily,
big. It's
easily.
really important that he runs in it.
Mhm.
Another.
Well, especially the fact that he gave more than a 10-second long interview after the race too,
Yeah.
and he actually said like, "If they want me, I'll come back and do it again." which is really nice. You know what I mean? And
it's all about hospitality with these drivers, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you make it easy on them, they will come back.
Yeah.
Since we're getting to the end of the podcast, I'm gonna throw out.
And we only halfway through.
Halfway through. We do have one more topic. We're gonna touch on some NHL retirements here in a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta let the boys get their chill in.
Yeah, we only got it's now 23 days until
let's go
puck drop.
They're in the preseason right now. So.
We'll talk more about NASCAR in the coming weeks because. At least for me, I'm really, really into it, especially now that the playoffs are going. I've been really tuned in.
Well, I think everybody else gave their predictions on who's going to win the championship.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw out.
Yeah, I think you did.
What was mine?
You didn't, because we did it last
No, we did who's going to win Bristol.
Was it Bristol?
Yeah, we did who was going to win Bristol.
Oh, okay.
And I said, who did I say? Larson?
Yeah, and I said Kyle Busch. Chris Buescher.
Oh, that's right.
TK
was close.
Gets the most credibility for his answer.
Should we do it for Texas?
I love Chase.
Yeah,
we'll do that, and then let's give our playoff who we think's going to win the.
I'd rather just do who'd rather win the championship. I think that's going to be Texas. It's a toss up. Who's going to win?
Yeah, I mean all the races are at this point.
But who's winning the championship? What do you guys got? Let's put it down, mark it down for the history books, so we can all feel bad later when we're not even close.
Chase, man.
I'm gonna be.
That's my favorite driver. I like Chase.
I'm gonna be with TK on this
Yeah.
one. Very like run of the mill, boring take, but I'm 100%. I think he's got the best balance of tracks right now. I think he has the least weaknesses. I feel like everybody else has one or two types of tracks that they could really have a bad day. Yeah. Or they just don't run that great and they get crashed out in a race that they should run well. But
Chase is always running top 3, top 4, top 5.
He just basically is out there toying with people at sometimes, I think.
So I think he's good. I think Christopher Bell, is someone to really pay attention to, another guy. But
if I had to say,
right there,
Denny Hamlin too.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Denny is his consistency has been all over the place this year. So I agree with y'all. Yeah. If I had to make like a top 3, I would probably go Chase Elliott, then Christopher Bell, then Denny. But if I had to put money on one guy, I'm just putting it at Chase and just calling it there.
All right, TK.
But these next races are scary.
All right, TK's putting money on Chase Elliott. Chase is putting money on Chase Elliott. Aaron, who you got?
Dude, it's so tough. I've been looking through this list. Man. I'm going to go with Logano.
Damn.
Oh.
Logano, boy. We got 2 for Chase and we got 2 for Logano.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident in Logano, but he's so consistent. Whenever,
I love Joey. He's so consistent.
He's not consistent. He's so consistent when he's not getting wrecked by other people.
Yep.
But the fact that he gets wrecked is.
He gets wrecked a lot.
Yeah, but it's due to his own.
Yeah, he's an asshole out there, but you got to be to win a race.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing you got to look at though, you've got him in a Ford in second, and then it's Chase in a Chevrolet in first, Ross in a Chevrolet in third, Chevrolet fifth, Toyota, and then you finally got other Fords with Blaney and Briscoe.
Yeah,
so I think that's the hesitation I have with Logano is I just feel like there's certain tracks, but I will say. Keselowski and his Ford, I know he's not in the playoffs, but he looked really good at Bristol.
Brad.
I feel like
he's always strong in the beginning, and then he always falls off. That's always how Brad's happen.
Ford might have worked something out to where they've gotten not really good, but gotten better at certain tracks. But it's hard for me to really ride with the way the current playoff format works. It's hard for me to pick Logano being with the Ford programs right now.
Yeah. But, all right, so we got 2 going for Chase Elliott in the championship, 2 for Joey Logano. Any dark horses? Well, we said Christopher Bell. I think Ryan Blaney could be a dark horse if he just gets a freaking win. But yeah.
My dark horse is going to be William Byron.
Oh, nice one.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's a one that no one really ever talks about. William Byron just kind of sticking.
He has performed really well in the playoffs, and he definitely deserved a little more time and a little more love, but. There's I feel like you could talk about just about any of these drivers.
The same way you talk about the other drivers.
There's something interesting to talk about, and that's the beauty of it. I think that's why we need to talk about it more because it's a really good
like what
season.
This is one of the best NASCAR seasons we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think really good one.
There are some problems, but like I said, we'll get into it more as the playoffs progress.
Yep. I know we're thinking about going to the Martinsville race.
If you would like to tag
If you
along,
would like to,
if you want to tag
We will
along.
definitely discuss that for sure. But all right, before we move on, we'll get to Chell and wrap everything up. My crazy tinfoil hat, let me know what you say. So there was a test where the Haas F1 team of Magnussen and Mick Schumacher came over here and tested the NASCAR, the Cup cars and everything. And they had a really good time. And there's talks that, Mick might potentially get shoved out of F1. So what if Trackhouse somehow, some way gets Mick Schumacher to run on a third team in NASCAR? Tinfoil hat. There's no shot this would ever happen.
Imagine having to get kicked out of Formula 1 to go race in fucking NASCAR.
It would be awful. I would feel bad, but it would be awesome.
It would be
just for
it'd be awesome for
It'd be
Trackhouse.
For what it would bring
It
to
would
the
be
sport.
disrespect to the Schumacher name, dude.
Yeah.
It would be
I don't
having
think he
me
would
feel
do
all
that.
types of
No,
ways.
he wouldn't do
wouldn't.
that.
But just to put everybody through the horrendous thought experiment of that happening.
That is very horrendous.
I knew Aaron would get a little bit offended, so it's
that
always
hurts,
fun.
dude.
But I think
The
Let me
thing about
put
a
this out there.
Schumacher in NASCAR. Ugh.
Michael was gonna run in NASCAR. There was a point where he was talking to run. in
Yeah, and
NASCAR,
then he
so-
fucking
But anyway,
decided to ski the Alps.
Oh.
all right. I feel way less bad about my shit if after Aaron just pops up. Anyway,
All right, so that
No
was
wonder, no wonder Vettel's such a
yeah, that
father
was
figure.
That was some NASCAR talk.
let's get off.
So we'll definitely we'll always talk about the F1 race after there is an F1 race.
Yeah, they like to take their breaks.
Yeah, they take their breaks and everything like that.
It's a long season.
But one sport we haven't really talked about yet that we will definitely be talking about throughout this podcast because it is some of our favorite sports.
Hey.
But we're going to be talking about the National Hockey League here,
And
the NHL.
Chell. Hey, whenever the NHL rolls around, we're doing the same thing we're doing for football.
Weekly predictions.
Yes.
Holy
God,
crap,
man.
that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it will. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
We'll pick games.
We'll manage.
We'll pick like 5 games.
No.
Yeah. All right.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
You know,
we got a long NFL season, bud. We got a long NFL season. All right. So not a lot of things going on in the NHL, but we are definitely going to need to highlight some of the retirements that were announced this
there have
week
been
in
some.
this
Well, no,
offseason.
just today.
Just today, yeah.
There have been some huge retirements today. If you know anything about hockey, you'll definitely know these first 2 names. And if you don't know the third, you'll definitely understand why we included him on this list. To start out, we have PK Subban.
Predators, baby.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what he's most known for. But he did play 834 games
Hell yeah.
in the NHL. He's going to have a great career in broadcasting. He was already doing broadcasting and shows and stuff like that before he even retired, so he's going to be great in on that. He was drafted by the Canadiens, played with them for quite a few years, played with the Predators and the Devils, ended up being a 3-time All-Star. Just a great personality for the NHL.
Not to mention he was a NHL game. I can't remember which one. He was a cover athlete too.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was definitely a really popular figure in the league.
Yep. Great person to have. And then the next is also Zdeno Chara, and he played 1,680 games in the NHL, baby.
Monster.
Has the fastest slap shot recorded at the All-Star games. It was like 108 miles an hour.
Played with the Islanders, the Senators, the Bruins, the Capitals, and he went back to the Islanders.
Yeah, it was really nice. He finished his career where he started with the Islanders. Obviously, his main staple is with the Bruins. That's who he's won that's who he won the Stanley Cup with, and that boy also went to 7 All-Stars.
He's an absolute menace.
Yeah.
I mean, you play NHL, like any of the NHL games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep saying back to Chell.
Yeah.
That's that's my most familiar with the NHL.
I'm also pretty sure he's the tallest player to ever play in the NHL.
Yeah, he's just massive.
Boy's an absolute unit. And then the last player is Keith Yandel. If you know about the NHL, you definitely know who this man is. If not, let me put you on. This man played 1,109 games. Yes, it's a little bit less than Chara's, but wait till I get to these stats, okay?
Insane.
He played with the Coyotes, the Rangers, the Panthers, and the Flyers. But the most impressive stat of his, by far, is he holds the Ironman record with 989 consecutive games played. That goes from 2000 and what was it, 4 or 2?
That's insane.
Until all the way to 2022.
This man's been playing as long. This guy's not missed an NHL game for longer than most people have been alive.
Yeah, and he played defense, like he was blocking shots, doing all that. So just the fact he was able to do that was absolutely wild. He would have broke 1,000, but the Flyers decided to rest him for the last few games of the season. So that way that
I wonder how many
the rookies
games in general he just played. Because I mean, if he played 989 consecutive,
well, he played 1,109.
But that's okay. Then okay.
Yes, it's total games.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like seasons or like
no,
totals.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, he's played for.
So he only missed about 300
Yeah.
games. He only missed 300 games.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely insane.
And
so I mean,
especially,
those guys
especially when you think that there's 84 games in a season.
I need these guys Hall of Fame.
Or
Definitely
82,
Chara.
82.
I would see definitely Chara's Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Keith. I mean, with that record.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think Yandel will be a tough
He might be a
one to get
10
in.
years down the road get in. Kind of
He might be like he might get in eventually.
Yeah.
But it's only because of that Iron Man record.
I don't think PK makes it.
He was a good defenseman, but I don't know. And then going on to PK, the only reason I think he would make it is because he was very influential.
Yeah, in the community and the social stuff like that.
For sure. But he wasn't like.
He also did some stuff in the Olympics, didn't he?
Well, I mean, a lot of these players went to the Olympics, but he wasn't necessarily a superb player. But he was a good solid defenseman. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I think for sure out of these three, Chara is definitely going to make the Hall of Fame. If you're a 7-time All-Star and you have a cup under your name, you're going to the Hall of Fame. So, yep. Let's see. So the first regular season game of the NHL season is going to be. Let's see here, sir. Come on, Dominic.
Rangers and the Lightning.
Rangers and Lightning. That'll be a great game. So that's gonna be the first one of the season. October 7th is when it.
North. So they're actually opening up on October 7th in Prague when the Predators face the Sharks.
Really? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know
so they're going to be
in
in Prague there, and then in North America they're going to be opening up in New York with the Rangers and the Lightning. So
cool.
Two different openings there, but yeah, the NHL is expanding there where they're playing again since after the pandemic and all that shit. So they're definitely going to be trying to do that stuff. But yeah, definitely when the NHL comes back, we're going to be talking about it a lot. We love NHL here. You notice that two boys got a little quiet during that time, so we're going to have to make sure that they get up on their NHL stuff.
To put them on a little bit.
Very little.
I don't know nothing about NHL.
Yeah,
we're gonna put them on. Don't worry.
But don't worry, we will also be talking about NBA, a little bit NBA. We'll talk about the scores and stuff.
Next week, also, we're gonna really focus on our.
You're fired.
You're fired, man.
Next week, we're really gonna be focusing on a new sport that I'm sure you guys haven't heard a lot of. Hopefully, we can have one of our little special guests on. We play a league in broomball, so he'll come on and tell you guys a little bit about the world of broomball and what it's all about and what the rules are and everything. So we'll have a really good discussion about that next week. We'll probably just focus on football and then broomball.
And we'll see if we can get some permission from the league to actually post some broomball video for you guys.
I'm sure they will not mind at all.
Yeah,
so
we'll definitely put some broomball video for you guys to see us play and all that good stuff.
Yep. So next week, that's what his name is Strees. We'll have him as our guest next week. But thank you again to TK and Chase for coming out today. Thank you, boys. Yes, boys. Anytime.
I mean, I think
good to be back.
I don't want to toot our own horns, but once again, guys, just 50 views, two videos. I mean, 100 total views. I mean, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate everything. 10 subscribers. Shout out to my mom and my dad. Thank you guys.
Thanks to my grandmother's 5 accounts.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we just really appreciate the love. We really appreciate the support. So this is Sport Ball.
Sport ball.
Oh.
Let's go, boys.
Every day.
Let's go, boys.